Hello guys, it is that panda guy and I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be going through actual footage from my bracket, which is a shocker to you guys probably because I'm the freaking news guy, but now I'm fighting. So basically us and Doom instantly went into this island raid, obviously allied, and this was a large reason due to me and Fern being old time friends, and you guys can kind of see the standoff here. And Doom actually had less numbers on right now, and I think something happened, like someone was instigating a fight between Fine and Doom from what I had heard. And this basically sparked the whole fight that, you guys are going to see. And Fine ended up wiping Doom off the field. And I will say it doesn't help that they're kind of fighting really close to territory. So, a lot of the buffs might be Doom's, a lot of the buffs might be Fine's. I don't know, but I think they cross a lot into Fine's territory, and this kind of also gives them a disadvantage. And I will give it to Fern. This dude ends up porting in, and he just fights the murder ball all by himself while his members are filtering in. Like it was a really big issue because they didn't have the numbers on. It was Fine just had like insane numbers who were able to hold the field. And the thing is, I think a lot of the Fine members actually ended up burning out earlier out that, or they just decided that it wasn't worth it to keep on fighting, and they ended up giving up ground. So I will also say that Doom made a pretty big mistake, and you guys saw the standoff earlier, and there was obviously, a little flag that was connected there, or a tower, right? And basically, Doom wasn't defending it, and that actually made no sense to me. You definitely want someone defending that, especially if it started burning, but nobody decided to port in. I mean, all you need is one person to hold a tower, right? I mean, of course, it's better if you have multiple people, but if they just ported in one strong person, they could stop the tower burning and nobody could just take it, right? They couldn't just burn it down easily. And, Doom definitely should have been defending their tower with their all right there, at least like putting troops in it. Also, I think someone was AFK over here, and I decided to just port in and try to save his march. That, or he actually had his gathers hit, and I actually ported in and burnt the Fox dude that was random porting around. And I was doing this little thing where I would like hop in and out of my base constantly, and the reason was I was trying to take on little picks, re-engage and disengage my marches constantly, take better trades, because if my marches just got swarmed down, it wasn't really going to be ideal trades for me, and it just wasn't really smart. So I actually was just trying my best to make sure my marches didn't get targeted, and I got in and out real fast. But then I saw someone came down to help me, so I decided that it was time for me to go big, large on the field. It was Atrex or whatever, thanks to Atrex. And then okay, so the issue, guys, here in this case, although we are vastly outnumbered, one, it is close to our territory, and you can kind of see that with Fine, where they'll be able to refresh their marches constantly, right? And that's kind of the same case for me. So even if one of my marches get melted, I'm able to constantly refresh these marches, as well as the fact that we're able to keep getting our troops on the field, whereas Fox and Arkham aren't able to do that because they're obviously way further back and they have to travel for a bit of time to kind of get on the field. There's also a big tech difference between our main size players who are on the field, so even if they're swarming our marches, in a lot of cases we're going to be taking actually pretty good trades against these marches swarming us down, you know what I mean? So even if you have 10 marches on my one march, it's very possible that I'm actually taking positive trades and it's melting these marches really fast. And there's just a huge tech difference between these like tier 4, even like low tier 5 players, and like me, and even some, my R4s, or even my alts, right? Which you actually see them start taking field presence. And I actually wasn't expecting this because when Fox and Doom had started fighting for a while, I was asking Fern what I should do, if I should, butt in, or if I should just sit back and watch. And he had told me to sit back and watch, and I did just that because I was actually doing the dishes whenever this happened. And I was constantly running back and forth to my room, back to keep doing dishes, whenever like combat died down, because I was trying to finish my dishes. But it wasn't easy, and I had to keep getting back to my PC, obviously, because I have a ton of accounts up there. And this was actually really bad because I don't know if you guys noticed, but obviously I didn't have my accounts on the field with me, and it kind of forced me into back to the wall fight when I kind of like initiated this field battle, and I was forced to start teleporting my accounts in and trying to get their marches on the field. And that was like, it was just not good because obviously when I'm kind of putting my marches on the field. It's better for me to have all my marches already out compared to me slowly filtering them onto the field. You know, it just wasn't a really ideal situation. And luckily, we somehow fought these guys off, which I think, like I said, was really a big tech difference issue, right? We melted their marches one by one. We cleared the field, and we actually ended up getting sweep back off because Fine ended up helping. You know, it was a 2v3 Doom and us versus Arkham, Fine, and Fox, and it was a grueling battle. The amount of resources I ran through was nothing, no easy joke. I ran through a lot of speed ups as well, but I will say that I hit 100 million kills this island, so I am very satisfied with my performance, and I was just pretty happy to battle out like this. This was definitely a really exciting fight. And probably the most exciting that you'd find in the whole island that we did. Of course, there was still some other battles that I did enjoy, but this was definitely the best for me, and I had a blast. And honestly, going into Island, I actually didn't expect the Fox Fine Allies, sorry, Alliance, but it actually was really logical, and I should have expected it more. But basically, what I had thought would happen was, I thought DKM would maybe get targeted by SCHK as well as Arkham, and then basically Fine would actually target Fox to avoid fighting Boone because over that level 7 structure. But I should have thought about the fact that they would have come to an agreement just to kind of save themselves, because of course Fox wasn't in a situation where they could have fought Fine, and I should have been more considerate of the fact that they would possibly have an alliance, and it's just something that I underlooked. And I mean, I still think that this was a good fight, so I'm not really like stressed about it. I will say a lot of people up here actually went AFK on the field, and this is a big just issue. I'm sure you'll see, like, no matter where you're at, if they're holding like the field for, let's say, 20 minutes, right? They had a bunch of marches just sitting on the field, kind of keeping field presence, and I guess maybe just keeping us idle, right? And then a lot of these people probably walked away from their phone, didn't even like notice that this was gonna happen. I don't know. It was just so weird to see them AFK. Like, I would never go AFK on the battlefield under no circumstances. That was just crazy to me. Maybe it was like just to scare us off a bit. And honestly, I didn't want to just hop right in. Like, I definitely wanted to give myself a minute to prepare my accounts or whatever if I was gonna start fighting. But I didn't have that time because I had instantly just hopped in at a spur of the moment thing, so it wasn't really ideal for me. But we still ended up clearing the field, and it became a bloody mess because Fine actually had kind of fought off Doom, and I think they started splitting their forces, like a majority of them, to actually come just kind of try to keep the pressure off over here. And I will say we fought pretty hard, and I ended up deciding that it would be better, like near the end of this video, to kind of back off the field and give up field control because we didn't need to take really bad trades. Also, they started swarming our tower, which made no sense. Like, I'm garrison captain, and a lot of these people are not fit to swarm this thing. I'll show the reports shortly, but this was disgusting. They swarmed. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. This is painful. I don't know why they tried this. Maybe they like just underestimated like how many reinforcements we could get in here. I don't know, because I feel like I've made it like clear that I do love defending towers, and it's something I'm actually pretty good at. I like to think where like I'm really good at keeping them full. So honestly, I would not have swarmed this thing, especially when you consider like the size of a lot of their players being smaller at that. Like, no offense to Fine, but they just don't have the tech, right? They don't have the tech to kind of compete with like maybe what I have, right? But you guys will see the reports here shortly. And this was disgusting. These were disgusting trades. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I don't know why they swarmed, but you know what? I gobbled it up. Even people who were idle nearby were taking AoE damage, and that was giving them some deads. So that was just youch. Look at this, guys. I don't even know. I don't even know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know why they did it. They were definitely better off just sending a rally in. I think they got like their adrenaline was pumping, and they were like, "All right, guys, we're just oh, someone swarmed it, someone hit it. Let's just all hop in." And I actually seen this, and I was talking to players from Boone, and it was actually an issue they faced. Whereas so basically it's like one person like starts attacking something, then everybody starts wanting to attack it because they're like, oh, I want to dogpile this. And then they end up taking, bad trades, or people start losing out, like losing resources because people were playing stupid. It's stuff like that, right? Like they were playing dumb. So people started taking bad trades because of their stupid decisions. And then, like it's just really bad, right? Like, especially when you're taking, after like a whale, because you'll see a whale do something and you're like, oh, I can do that too. And then you're wondering why you have 100,000 dead, or you have like 500K in your hospital. I don't know. You just gotta like be patient. You gotta kind of manage your emotions, because I know a lot of people just start going absolutely ape mode while playing with people. Look at all these reports, by the way, guys. This is just on my main. I of course have a lot of reports on my alts, and I do think I go through these for a little bit, but I try to cut off the footage here. Okay, guys, I made sure to speed it up a bit. You guys can pause or slow down the video if you do want to see some of these reports, but it was nothing crazy. It was just, battlefield stuff. But either way, like, honestly, I think we definitely had our work cut out for us. I burnt through a lot of speed ups, and even my accounts that, save up on speed ups, of course, burned through a lot as well. And I thought that we actually might have lost this, but I think the issue was that these alliances just decided it wasn't worth the trades. They were losing, like, kind of on the field a lot, and they just probably started burning out. I feel like a lot of the older regions, of course, are going to have more speed ups, more resources to work with. Their accounts are more developed. A lot more stuff is maxed out. So it's like we're not using all these resources constantly trying to do technology as much, or like upgrading buildings, whatever it might be, right? Whereas like a lot of these players are don't have the resources for that because they're still using a lot of them. That, or they don't have the speeds, whatever it might be. I did use a lot of universal speed ups this time around, and I decided that, I just wanted to use universal speed ups because I wanted to make sure I could keep the fight going. I did want to also get more content, and I also wanted to hit 100 million kills, I'm not going to lie. And I thought I can always max out my troops any other time. I can always get tier 6 later. 30 days, whatever it might be, isn't like too big of a deal because I can always get that in like a week or two. And it does hurt a little bit, but I did want to fight it out. So I'm kind of glad that I used my universal speed ups towards healing instead. Also, you guys see them flooding in over here. They were trying to gather up, and I decided it would be better if we pushed before they could actually gather all their people up and kind of like force them into a frenzy, because the thing is, if they have half their people fighting, the other half just sitting back, those people who are already in the fray are going to be taking worse trades than they would be, as if like, all these other people just started flooding in. So we kind of forced them to flood into a fight with us while their other members were trying to like just recollect themselves and gather up. I also will say that I had myself baited a lot because, of course I'm controlling 7 accounts, so it's not easy to, manage and make sure I'm not getting like my marches chasing down someone. So I'd like target a march, right? And they would basically walk away, drag my march off to somewhere, and then they'd swarm it down with a bunch of people. And it was a really smart strategy, especially to use against me, right? And it was definitely something I should have been paying attention to more. And you kind of see that in the bottom left right there, where one of my marches is actually following off, and I have some people running after it. Though I will say I kind of got field control here, so I guess the whole strategy in general did end up becoming worth it. And I do have a lot of accounts fighting up above, by the way. You guys can't see it, but I actually had to fight off Fox, Arkham, and Fine. I'm not sure if Fox is actually on this field right now. I think they were, though. But I basically had to have like 3 or 4 accounts kind of holding off Fine while I like tried to clear the field over here, because I do not want these guys butting in with 40 or 50 marches as I'm trying to just take field control, and I'm just trying to burn them out, because the thing is, I actually came in building in towards the ruins, and actually didn't think Fine would cut us off, but they actually built kind of cutting us off, and we were kind of forced to build into them. It was not ideal, and we were kind of forced into like it was a little cramp area, right? We were kind of cramped with how we were building, and it just wasn't good. And thankfully they actually started burning out, and I will put another video where we start rallying their flags out, and you'll see us zero some bases. But we somehow ended up managing to fend them off, and it was just a nice fight overall. I will say near the end of this video, or like in a minute or so, you're gonna see them actually start teleporting in, and this is when I knew my days were kind of numbered, because the thing is, I did have field control, or I had more field presence. But the longer the fights went on, I actually am at more of a disadvantage because more marches of mine are going to be disappearing. A lot more marches are going to be getting low, and I'm trying to actually wobble back home because I'm trying to get out of the field. I'm trying to actually make sure I'm not taking really bad trades, and they end up porting in. And I don't think I end up recording it because I couldn't find the footage. But basically, I was forced to fight until like my marches all started melting out, and I just decided that we had to retreat. I was telling my members, let's just back up, let's regroup, let's get our heals in, etc. Right? Because we don't need to stay on the field when we're not able to I'm not able to clear my hospitals on my accounts, none of that, right? And I needed to get out. So I ended up deciding that we just clear the field, we give them field control, and it's not like we can't take it back any other time, right? Like I doubt they could take our flag or sorry, our tower from us. So I just decided that was the best move, and I think you see someone port in very shortly. We only have 1 minute left of this video, so I do hope you guys enjoyed, by the way. I'm trying to go through my videos and edit them up a little bit, and I'll try to get, one or two more out tomorrow. So I do hope you guys are enjoying this. And you see this dude port in. Honestly, I don't want to pronounce his name because I think I'd get it wrong. But either way, honestly, I should have already been backing off after I saw these people coming in from down below because obviously the more field presence they get, it's just be more rough for me, and I'd be taking worse and worse trades as more marches melted. So honestly, I ended up deciding I'd get out of there, I'd refresh, I'd try to heal all my troops, and I'd get back on the field whenever I needed to. There was no rush about it. But yeah, that is basically the end of the video. I do thank you guys for watching, and I hope this is entertaining. So you guys have a good day, and peace out.